raising money to get her implants taken out. Anyway, welcome to the Breakdown Crew. welcome to the Breakdown Crew. Not only welcome to the Breakdown Crew, but I also want to welcome the Replay Gang. Some of y'all now, Rosetta is kind of like the queen of the Replay Gang because Rosetta, you be in the in the replay too. I want to definitely shout out the hashtag Replay Gang. I have absolutely enjoyed so much this week watching the replays with you guys in the premieres. It seems like you really enjoy that too. I enjoy engaging with you in the chat. A lot of us are working while we're watching, and it's all good because I'll be working while I'm watching too. I'll be over here tightening up deals and finishing up shit while I'm watching the show because I'd be watching something anyway. So thank you so much for spending your lunch time, your break time, your time at work with me. I'm so sorry if you have to turn down the volume because I get a little loud. But I make this show on Saturday night, so it is what it is. Thank you guys so much for those of you in the Replay Gang. And if you're watching this in the Replay Gang, go ahead and hashtag replay in the comments. That's what we need you to do. And please, when you make your comment, go ahead and timestamp it so that we know what you're talking about, so we can go back and watch that moment with you. We really do enjoy it. Also, for those of you who are in the bushes, I'm going to shake them. I'm going to shake the bushes for just a second. If you're in the bushes because you're not allowed to watch nobody else, but you really, really do enjoy watching us. If you in the bushes because you got offended because the title includes white peopling and you came over here to put us in our place. Man, if you in the bushes because you doing dishes or fucking or smoking or eating or doing crack or whatever it is people do on Saturday nights across the zip codes. If it's Sunday morning where you are and you're in the bushes because you actually are at church, but you watching this anyway. If you're in the bushes because you're just in the motherfucking bushes because it's comfy there, then I definitely want to welcome you to the Breakdown Crew. You are appreciated. We see you and we hear you. Absolutely. Listen. What you say, St. Hudson?
Happy Sabbath.
Oh my God, happy Sabbath. Imagine doing the nasty and still in the comments. Ooh, please clean off your keyboard. It's sticky.
Y'all some freaks.
It's sticky. It's sticky.
We can see y'all.
Stop living in bondage and comment in the chat. Listen, I promise you, your favorite YouTuber watches this show too. Because listen, I heard somebody say something that was in one of my shorts, and I could tell they had been watching that short over and over again when they said it. And they say they don't watch it, but they popped over here once before or twice before to see what we were talking about when we were talking about Jag. So your favorite YouTuber watches us too, because we talk about more than just one thing, and we come from a bunch of different perspectives, and we've got different experience across different lifetimes. So this is really a great place to be to just come think. We don't only talk about one thing. It's all over the place over here. It's not celebrity gossip. It's not the news. We get into everything. Everything. Anyway, let me give you guys a very quick 30-second break before we get into the content. I don't even usually tell you, but I'm going to tell you this time because you've been hanging with me for a minute. It is 10:06 on my side of the sun, so we're almost just about right on time. Almost. Actually, yeah, we're late. But anyway, I'll be right back. Yeah, first thing we about to do, St. Hudson, I just think it's appropriate. First, let me do this. Let me offer my condolences to the families of those who were involved in the tragedy of the Titan submarine owned by the trashy OceanGate company. I want to offer my condolences to those families. Anything you want to add to that, St. Hudson, before we get into the facts?
Same. I offer my condolences to the families and all that, suffered pain and worry in those days leading up to the, finding the remains of what is left. Must have been very hard.
I missed that last part of what you said. I apologize. I was doing a
I
time
said
check.
the pain of the worry up until finding the remains of what was left. Like to have to
I can
sit with
only
that.
I cannot imagine what they went through all those days, wondering if their loved ones were alive and what they were experiencing. I cannot imagine.
The wave of emotion. I
And I
had to
just
feel.
think as we discuss these things tonight, I don't want to seem callous, but I'm not. I don't want to seem callous. I didn't want to seem callous when we talked about Jackie O last week. I didn't like seeming callous when I talked about Jaguar Wright. We just got to talk about the facts and unemotionally. And as we talk about what we talk about tonight, I think it's important that we think about the lives that are affected by the decisions that we make.
Yes, and following our instinct and discernment and stuff like that. Those are God given gifts, Most High given gifts.
Mm, wisdom.
It's important to follow those. Those are gifts for real, for real.
And I'm gonna
And
tell you,
children have them
karma.
too. Yeah.
Children do have them, and we're gonna uncover that tonight. That's gonna be discussed. How to just listening to fucking shit that's in front of your face.
hmm
Catching a clue. So the first thing I want to do before we get into the actual content, I want to make sure it's okay with the sound. If you guys can still hear us, okay, even though Mystical is still doing his thing. If you can hear, I don't even know if you can hear Mystical. Can you hear Mystical? Or is that just me? Am I the only one that can hear Mystical?
Slightly.
You can't hear him? Okay, I'm gonna turn him up
Slightly.
a little bit. Give us some background music while we talk about this contract. How's that? Rosetta says she had to get some wine. Yeah, one trippers. I feel like you. I'm kind of between indifferent and compassionate for different reasons. Okay, our music is good. It's not too loud, y'all. I appreciate you giving me feedback on the fly. It really is sad that they died like that. You know, that gift of discernment has saved my life a few times too. All right, y'all. Let's take a look at. Let me turn him down just a tiny bit. I want to take a look at this contract because I think one of the main things that should be understood is the information that was made available to these people. And I think we should read it just like we read it Young Van Zandt's website, unfortunately. Hopefully this is written better and we don't have to smoke so much. But I'm going to ask you if you'll do something with us, okay? If you see the words injury or death or damage, you're going to have to smoke something. You're going to have to drink something. Because they in here. Because they in here. If you see these words, or if you hear these words, you're going to have to smoke something. You're going to have to drink something. I said death, injury, and damage. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and read this. Let me bring Mystical down a little bit. Hold on. I'm going to go ahead and shut him down. Sorry, honey. Gotta go. Bye-bye. All right. Excuse me. Rosetta says she gonna drink. I got a little piece of something, so I'm gonna smoke. But I'm gonna roll up something while we watch this next video. I got it ready. All right. So if you guys got a chance to see this in our community tab this week, please put a one in the chat. Let me know you got a chance to review this, so I kind of know if I need to go fast or slow. Now, this is a 3-page contract, and I'm gonna take my time and I'm gonna read it because apparently somebody didn't, and that's how they ended up on a fucking submarine in the middle of the ocean. Yeah, we're gonna go through the details. Yeah, and it's crazy that that boy lost his life just because his daddy was an adrenaline junkie, and his daddy wouldn't relate to him on his level, so he had to relate to his daddy on his level, and it cost them both their life. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, and carbon fiber too, Miss Nader. Carbon fucking fiber. So anyway, let me get into this because this one's a doozy. So the contract reads as such: I acknowledge that I have voluntarily applied to participate in a submersible operation arranged by OceanGate Expeditions Limited, a company registered in the Bahamas. Couple things I noticed. It is annoying me to the fuck that they keep calling these expeditions when they're not. They are not expeditions, they're excursions. Difference: an expedition, these are people who would have trained together, practiced together, spent time on doing this to accomplish a thing. Not they got in somebody else's submarine and trusted them to guide them into the ocean. That's an excursion. These people paid £250,000 for an excursion. And this company is registered in the Bahamas. So they're legally very ambiguous. When it comes to suing them, it's going to be difficult. When it comes to the laws that they have to practice on the water, very, very, very different. That's why a lot of these cruise ships are licensed in the Bahamas because they have different laws. Anything about that get your attention? This first line, St. Hudson, I want to make sure I don't talk over you.
It's so far away from. It's like on the other side of the planet compared to the Titanic.
Right, the Bahamas.
Yes.
Right. Thank you for mentioning that. How your company founded in the Bahamas or registered in the Bahamas, which means you most likely are licensed to operate there, but you in Canada, in Nova Scotia.
That shouldn't be legal.
Nope, it should not be. And something else we're gonna talk about too, because I can tell y'all know what's going on. You never want to be so wealthy that you lose common sense. Absolutely, absolutely. Now I also agree by going on this dumbass excursion that I've been informed about the nature of the operation and the risks it presents, including that the operation includes activities involving subsurface vessels, surface vessels, and or remotely operated vehicles that are on, near, or underwater. A portion of the operation will be conducted inside an experimental submersible vessel. A portion of the operation will be conducted inside an experimental submersible vessel. Now, which part of this operation wasn't in an experimental submersible vessel? Which part of this operation was not inside of the Titan? Because they got in the Titan on the platform and went in the water. At what point would they not be in an experimental submersible vessel? That's a lie. That a portion of it. No, it was the entire operation, what I call an excursion. I'll go on. It says the experimental submersible vessel has not been approved or certified by any regulatory body and may be constructed of materials that have not been widely used in human occupied submersibles. Now, this is the only submersible that is supposed to be able to go to that depth of water, 13,000 feet, that has not been certified. The other 9 vessels that have gone down to the Titanic were all certified. And you'll see as we go through this information tonight, and I love that you guys want to talk about this tonight because I really want you guys said you want to talk about it. I dug into it. I did the research. I uncovered the information so we could find out what's tea. I took your lead on this because if you want to talk about Beyonce tonight, we'd be looking at the Renaissance tour. I like to play how y'all play. You know how I get down. So listen, when we talk about certification, we'll see tonight that there were several professionals who told this man, you should get this thing certified. And he said, nah, I don't need to get it certified. And he puts in the contract here. And I'm sure he's had lawyers review this because white people love lawyers, you know. I'm sure he's had, and I'm not even going to say his name because I can't remember it and I don't want to get it wrong. It's like Shitter, what is it? I forget his name. Anyway, I really don't want to give him a whole lot of shine because he's going to be in enough history books with this dumb shit. But I want to read this again because it's very important. Number 2. A portion of the operation will be conducted inside an experimental submersible vessel. Experimental. Why are we taking people on an operation, an expedition in an experimental vessel if these people have never practiced before together? They come from all different walks of life and all different parts of the world, but they're doing an experimental expedition. I haven't taken this comment down yet. This already sounds like a setup because it's still so very relevant. Somebody said, dumb ways to die. The experimental submersible vessel has not been approved or certified by any regulatory body and may be constructed of materials that have not been widely used in human occupied submersibles. The man said, yeah, nobody uses carbon fiber, but you know, I'm gonna. Materials. Oh, we'll talk about the materials. And then number 3 says, excuse me, when diving below the ocean surface, this vessel will be subject to extreme pressure. And any failure of the vessel while I am aboard could cause severe injury or death. You better smoke twice. He said, when diving below the when diving below the ocean, huh?
No, I can't believe this.
Girl, I'm putting my hand over my heart because I pledge allegiance to the flag that when diving below the ocean surface, this vessel will be, and I'm gonna sign this shit and say it's okay. This vessel will be subject to extreme pressure, and any failure of this experimental vessel. Well, I hope y'all smoking, drinking now. While I'm aboard could cause severe injury or death. This is just number 3. Go ahead, say husband. I'm sorry.
Oh
I
my
know.
God. It's
I
like,
know. I know.
did they even read? I swear, did they even read it?
Girl. Did they at least have their lawyers read it for them? There's some things I just don't sign without an attorney reviewing it. That's just me.
It's like a field trip waiver.
I'm only trying to be a multimillionaire.
Is this just one
Excuse
page?
me. Girl, this is 2 pages. 3.
Oh, excuse me, 3 pages.
3 pages. But this is just number 3.
Oh my gosh.
First lady said, how you got a 5-hour show up talking about some submarines? This is just number 3.
How did they make sure they even read it? They probably just signed in. Just here you go. Let's go on a trip.
Just another thing to brag about. What if somebody get gas? That's a horrible place to poop. He got a toilet on there. Y'all gonna see? Oh, I brought it to you. I made sure I brought you the information to make sure that we are able to unpack this thing and talk about it in our community.
I'm on mute. Go on.
And we're not forced. I be hearing you unmute. When you unmute, I shut up. I hear you saying Hudson. I be listening for it. Listen. Too many times, black people are forced to mourn the deaths of people who don't give a fuck about us. That's all I'm gonna say about that right now. Number 4. Oh no, because there's more than number 3. Did you smoke? Did you drink? Did you do your smoke and your drink for injury and death? Lord Jesus, I understand that I may decline to participate in any dive below the ocean surface or any activity of the operation at any time. Now, how the fuck? How the fuck? If the submarine is bolted in by 12 bolts from the outside, and communication can get lost an hour within an expedition, how do you communicate that you don't want to play no more? How do you communicate, bring us up and open this bitch so I can get the fuck out of here? Girl.
Don't they have a PlayStation?
Girl. Xbox or something. And it's like a PlayStation. It ain't even like a new one. Like a 5. That thing, and they said it was a knockoff. We gonna see it. It's not even like a Sony controller. It's like a Alibaba or some shit. Amanda, Rosetta. I don't know who I'm talking to. I feel you. Whoever made this comment, I feel you. I can't feel sorry for people who keep making stupid decisions. Now I can learn from those decisions, and I could bring you the lessons. But I give a moment of silence. That's all I got. Cause I'm reading this contract, and if I had gone to any of them with my bullshit, they'd be like, "What the contract say?" I just I What is it, Miss Nodders? It's not a PlayStation. What is it? We'll see in a minute.
Put it on a T-shirt.
She said PlayStation would have stayed connected. Huh?
Put the put the waiver on the T-shirt.
Put what?
The waiver on the T-shirt.
Okay. Listen, I'm gonna give this waiver with my next relationship. I can't do it with this one because she already know. But the next relationship, if she leave me and go on by her business, what next relationship? She said somebody said Logitech. See, I changed the subject. It's no excuse. Okay, so the rest of number 3 says, or number 4. I gotta change the subject before I get in trouble. Number 4 says, support vessels upon which I may board are industrial vessels. St. Hudson, now you and I have not talked about this, right? We haven't discussed this, right?
Mm-mm.
Where did the monitors come from on that vessel? Where did he purchase them?
Radio Shack. Don't they sell like the old units sometimes? Didn't they do that back in the day?
Girl, he got it from Camping World.
Same thing. White folks love a camping store, don't they? I'm from Westchester, New York. I know about white folks.
They feel like it makes them rugged and ready for the world. This nigga said industrial. It said support vessels are industrial vessels.
They love a camping store.
REI, Dick's. Those are the biggest sections in those stores. The camp. Now that I think about it.
You can't tell them to stay out the fucking woods. I swear.
I don't understand.
Or
Like
off a boat.
I grew up in Michigan. We camped in the woods, 7th, 8th, ninth, 10th, 11th grade. In the woods. I remember peeing outside. I know that was a motherfucking bear I saw. And they didn't teach me don't pee within 30 feet of the camp. I'm just out in the middle of the night peeing because I had to pee. I was in seventh grade. And I know I saw a fucking bear. Now, for
That's
all I know, we was behind a Walmart somewhere. Oh, girl, that's the crazy thing. These motherfuckers be scared of the weirdest shit. They be scared of the wrong shit.
mm-hmm. My
It
mom
was
is
like
from
that.
Peekskill. I'm from Westchester County. All we have is woods up there. We used to love the
That
Poconos too. You
girl,
get
the
a new boo,
Poconos.
you going up to the Poconos for Valentine's
Yeah,
Day
and when I lived in
to get your
Ohio, where was it? Everybody went Gatlinburg
yes, you
and
going to
Pigeon
Poconos getting your
Forge.
back blown out. That's what you
Yeah, get fucked in the woods, but you can't go outside at night 'cause them bears
no.
be out there.
Yes, bears, raccoon, wild turkeys. Wild
Uh
turkeys are
huh.
mean.
Wild turkeys don't fucking play. That's why Kimberella's so mean. She out there with them fucking wild turkeys. She said she had some turkeys. Yeah, listen, number 4. Support vessels. I said this 3 times. I just gotta say it again. I'm gonna zip through this a little faster, I promise. But y'all gotta see this shit because we're supposed to be sad. Support vessels. We're supposed to be mad because some millionaires are dead. I mean, I'm gonna be one very soon too. Be mad when I die too. Is all I'm saying. So support vessels are industrial vessels not specifically designed for passenger operations, although this one had 5 passengers, and present many hazards, including without limitation, large heavy objects, heavy swinging doors, and low overhangs. These could become even more hazardous in heavy seas. In addition, during the operation, I may board small vessels and other equipment that could expose me to property damage, injury, disability, or death if you don't smoke, if you don't motherfucking drink. This nigga said, this nigga said, these could become even more hazardous in heavy seas. Now we going down through the Mariana Trench, 13,000 feet into the sea, past the monsters, y'all, past the monsters. We're going past the ocean monsters. And in addition, during the operation, I may board small vessels and other equipment that could expose me to property damage, injury, disability, and death. Is that not all 4 of them in one fucking sentence? This is just number 4. 4 is the number of death in China. Let me tell you something. This bitch took a picture of my child and put it on social media, and I fired her. And when I paid her in 4s and 7s. Like I broke the whole payment because I had to pay her because you don't want Chinese people mad at you over some money. They go crazy over a wine. But I went ahead and paid this bitch. I think I owed her like 3,000, and I broke it down into like 400 won, 700 won, because those are the numbers of death. And I sent her several payments in those small increments, and she responded, and she was like, "It worries me that you send it these ways." Like it should, bitch. That was 2017 in China. Shout out to 2020. So anyway, no,
Bitch.
number 5 goes on to say, if I choose to assist in servicing or operation of the submersible vessel, I will be exposed to risk associated with high pressure gases. Somebody said something about tooting.
Yes,
Pure
Jess.
pure oxygen servicing, high voltage electrical systems, and other dangers that could lead to. Here we go again. See, y'all, I got to keep up with y'all now. Here we go again. Here go them words: property damage, injury, disability, and death. I know I'm at least one smoke behind. Property damage, injury, disability, and death. That's two things in a row that could lead to it on the first page. You
The
got
baby
something,
was the
Scoop?
only one with some sense.
The baby. And the baby didn't have the power. Because all he wanted was a relationship with his damn dumbass daddy. You see how he looking at that bitch behind me? You see how he looking at her? Like, oh, what the fuck is wrong with you? Look. Let me show you this shit. How he looking at her? That's how that boy was looking at his daddy. Daddy, what the fuck is wrong with you? True Empress said, this is a, listen, I'll let you read it for yourself. I'm about to read enough shit that's going to make YouTube mad. Number 5. Number 6. Sorry, I keep getting these property damage, injury, disabilities, and deaths confused. Here's another way it may happen. Dumb. They should call this contract "Dumb Ways to Die." What you about to say, Hudson?
The pretty fish don't even go down there.
It ain't shit down there but the Titanic and the doggone jellyfish and the fucking dirt. Number 4, nigga, if you snatch the remote, we gon' die. What is that from? What is that from? When I clicked on the wrong comment. Excuse me. What the fuck is that from? Lord, let me read number 6 or we gonna be here forever. This operation will take place largely at a great... Oh, man. Because I could only read up to 4. I screenshot 4, read it, and sent it to y'all. The rest, I'm reading with y'all for the first time. This operation will take place largely at a great distance from the nearest hospital.
Jesus Christ.
Because there are no hospitals on the sea or under the sea. and I saw the Britannica, the ship go down. It went down. They don't even have hospital ships anymore. That's an old idea. What the fuck? He didn't even have a medic. But you're gonna find out how fucking crazy this is because this man promises things will be on this vessel that don't end up on the vessel. And we're gonna break that down. Anyway, if I'm injured, you better smoke. I may not receive immediate medical attention. First aid available in the ship may not be equivalent to what's available on land. Where's the first aid kit in this house? That's what they gonna have. The one that come in the back of your car. When they get the first aid kit in the trunk, that's what it's gonna be. I'm just saying he was just talking about Bikini Bottom. Dumb ways to die. All right, let's continue. Come on, class, let's continue. I acknowledge that all travel in or around the water on vessels of any type. Oh, come on now. What you're not about to do is make your vessel equivalent to other vessels, sir. And say, I could die anyway. Because that's what he's about to do. I think that's what he's about to do. I acknowledge that all travel in and around the water on vessels of any type, including submersibles, entails both known and unanticipated risks that could result in a physical injury, disability, emotional trauma, death, harm to myself or third parties, or damage to my property. He's saying, I acknowledge that I could die in any way whatsoever. So, because his motto was, if you really don't want to die, don't get out of bed. If you don't want to risk death, don't get out of bed. Thank you, One True Empress. I have a feeling I'm going to be singing that song a lot tonight. Oh, my God. Not an aftermarket remote. Anywhere around the water. Although OceanGate Expeditions Limited will take steps to provide me with adequate training, how and when?
Stop, drop, and roll.
That's it. That's it. Because it's only said in this contract. He doesn't even say out of his own mouth everybody's trained before they go. He doesn't make that claim. Girl, death. Too many times. The only death I want to smoke is this right here. What that nigga say? What's that shit? This nigga right here is death.
Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop.
Come on. Oh, no. Shit, that's how the Ocean Gate roll. And here go the other thing. It's called Ocean Gate. Don't that sound like a scandal waiting to happen?
Mm-hmm.
I said, how you gonna be
Mm-hmm.
old as you are, not knowing that's a ridiculous name for a business? You was around there with Nixon them. He 59 years old. You don't put the word gate in nothing you own.
You manifesting the real. This is.
Y'all, Miss Natives is down there cracking up at y'all's comment. Dying, laughing out loud for real. Okay, I got a big one for y'all. I got to continue this sentence. Also, although Ocean Gate, this contract is a great source to get high with all these words. Although Ocean Gate Expeditions Limited will take steps to provide me with adequate training, equipment, and skilled professional or personal personnel, I apologize. I understand that such risks simply cannot be eliminated from any operation. The risks include, without limitation, loss of footing, slips and falls on a deck, particularly in inclement weather, harm from falling objects on non passenger vessels, drowning, and additional and malfunction or failure of the submersible, leading to death or serious injury. You better be smoking. You better be drinking something. You can't say this show ain't lit. You can't say this show ain't lit. Shit, I'm giving you all the juice you need to get what you need. If listen, you BYO your own shit, and I'm gonna give you what you need. I'm giving you the motivation. Shit, this nigga said leading to death or serious injury. Additional dangers may include the hazards of accident or illness in remote places without access to emergency medical facilities and acts of God, such as severe weather. I acknowledge that representatives of Ocean Gate Expeditions Limited have been available to answer my questions and more full not right now because they shut that whole operation down indefinitely, and more fully explain to me the physical demands of the operation as well as risks, hazards, and dangers associated with the operation. Now, I also understand that the foregoing description of these risks is not complete. I said I also understand that what you've told me are the risks. Oh, there could be more. Oh, I understand that. I come with an understanding that there could be a whole lot more shit that I encounter, and I'm still gonna sign this shit. Anyway, let me find my spot. Whew, Jesus. And that other unanticipated inherent risks may occur. Inherent, like death. You know, one risk of going 13,000 feet in the ocean is death. That's an inherent risk. It's that risky. Listen, I'm trying to find my place. Hold on, I got lost. Talking about inherent risk, death. How about that? Shit. Let me find my place. Where am
We
I
were
at?
told about the pressure down there in elementary school, though.
We felt the pressure at the Y when we swam at 8 feet. Don't you feel the pressure when you go down 7, 8 feet in the water? You can feel your head get a little tight.
Yes.
We felt it. None of them had certain equipment to protect their dome. Let me find my spot. I keep missing my spot. Oh shit. I am voluntarily participating in the operation with full knowledge of the facts set forth above, whereto and hereto, including the described risks and unknown risks. I understand the inherent risks in the activities that will be undertaken during the operation, and I hereby assume full responsibility for all risks, including, you better light that shit up, property damage, injury, disability, and death. Rosetta said, that's all I heard is death. Death in a fiber carbon tube. Now, I won't drive a Kia Rio. Why the hell I'm going to go down in the ocean in one? He'd have been better off using the goddamn PT Cruiser. What was that car that?
The Fiat.
No. Oh my God, we ain't talked about that car in a minute. The car. What was that car? The one that got set on fire.
It was a Fiat. A Kia Soul. That's what it is.
He even been because that Kia Soul stood up to that fire, didn't it?
Yep, same color and everything.
They tried it. That Kia Soul said the devil tried, Goomba tried to kill me.
The wheels were pristine, and so was the license.
The license plate, but we stupid.
Mm-hmm.
We stupid. Oh my God. What is carbon fiber? I'm gonna stop for a moment because I wanted to make sure that carbon fiber was what I thought it was too. I'm actually I've been kind of play car shopping and building some things, and I see a lot of carbon fiber, and I'm like, I want to make sure that what I think carbon fiber is. Did this nigga use dashboard equipment? Like, I'm literally like, really, son?
They said they've been saying that Biden has been playing with the gasoline these days, so maybe that's what it was. Because she said he put in a water bottle. So.
He said Let me show you. He said he uses $1 million worth of gas.
You know what? Fuck you, Jaguar.
What are you talking about? I was talking about this dude right here that killed these people in this little yellow submarine. This is carbon fiber. This is carbon fiber, y'all. This nigga used fiber in resin. Carbon fiber is about 5. Now, this was supposed to be 7 inches thick. Carbon fibers are highly stiff, highly tenseled.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, why he used that.
You know what? Rock Nation probably has something to do with this.
You know what? I knew it was Betty White. I said it. They were trying to set up the Woman Crush Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I said it. Now, it would have made sense if what's that little ugly nigga's name who shot that girl in her pinky toe?
Oh, damn it. The Jamaican boy. What's his name? He's Canadian too.
With his message.
Yep, he's Canadian too.
Girl, because they trying to find a conspiracy in this. I'm like, it ain't no conspiracy. These niggas did some stupid shit. Ain't no conspiracy, y'all. It ain't. Like, it just ain't. Like, you can't make this up. This is some stupid shit. Let's continue. Let me zoom on through this a little bit more. Hold on. Yeah, this stupid shit continues to say. Hold on. Make sure I get it right here. All right. Y'all are cutting up in the fucking comments. I can hear it downstairs. Knitted metal. Nigga used knitted metal. He did. Listen. His contract continues. I continue to say, as lawful consideration for being permitted to participate in the operation, and on behalf of myself, listen very closely. I ain't read this before, but this we got to listen to. As lawful consideration for being permitted to participate in the operation, and on behalf of myself, I'm going to show you where I'm at. Myself, my heirs, assigns, personal representative, estate, and for all members of my family, including minor children, I hereby release, waive, and forever discharge OceanGate Expeditions Limited and its owner, OceanGate Incorporated, officers, directors, shareholders, principals, agents, representative members, employees, clients, partners, subcontractors, and the OceanGate Foundation, and all of my co volunteers or release parties participating in the operation from all liabilities, claims, actions, demands, costs, losses, or expenses which I or my heirs, distributees, guardians, legal representatives, next of kin, or assignees may have against the release parties on account of injury to myself or my property, or resulting in my death, arising out of or in any way connected with my participation in the operation, including travel to and from the operation site. These motherfuckers gave it all up.
Sound like a setup.
Girl, they set themselves up. The contract is here. I didn't steal this. I didn't go on any covert operations to get this. They signed it. I'm going to read that for you again because I know I went through it fast. And I spit on my bottom lip a couple times. So I'm going to read it again. Slow the fuck down. As lawful, now I am thinking about this as a person who is an heir. When both of my parents died, I inherited some money and some property and some rights. Okay? And I have every intention to pass things down to my child, even greater than what I've ever inherited. So when I go into a certain thing, I always think about how it's going to affect people who depend on me, even unborn, my grandchildren, my great great grandchildren. You know what I'm saying? And these niggas, whose names I won't mention, their names are on the news. That's not what we're here to talk about. I'll just be honest with you. He said, nigga, even if you die on the way to the knitted metal Twinkie, what
Over
in the
some dumb
fuck?
shit.
Just to say you went down there.
You
You
can't
know,
even walk
Beyonce,
around.
I told y'all, I went to Spain on my lunch break the other day because I heard Beyonce was there doing a concert. And so I popped in. It was whack. I'm glad I saw it, and I went back, flew back to America. Thanks to YouTube. I didn't have to go do all that. They could have they could have just watched the video on YouTube. Not saying you don't go nowhere, because any of you who've known me for a while, and Kadarius, I say if you'll never know till you go. I lived in China. You know what I'm saying? I've been everywhere. I've experienced everything. But if this is the contract that's placed before me, and I have living heirs, I have people who are dependent on me, I have organizations that are dependent on my blood to flow. But I literally say, as lawful consideration for being permitted to participate in the operation and on behalf of myself, my heirs, assigns, personal representative, estate, and for all members of my family, including minor children, who could grow up later on and sue, but now I've taken the right away from them. I hereby release, waive, and forever discharge OceanGate Expeditions Limited and its owner, OceanGate Incorporated, officers, directors. They can't even sue these people individually. Officers, directors, shareholders, principals. I hope my company protects me like this too. Agents, representatives, members, employees, clients, partners, subcontractors, and OceanGate Foundation, and all of my co volunteers, as in all the motherfuckers who go on this with me. I'm signing for them too. Release parties participating in the operation from all liabilities. I release the companies and anybody who's on this thing, whether they guests or not, from in any capacity. This is crazy. From all liabilities, actions, claims, demands, costs, losses, or expenses which I or my heirs, distributees, guardians, legal representatives, next of kin, or assignees may have against the released parties on account of injury to myself or my property or resulting in my death, arising out of or in any way connected with my participation in the operation, including travel to and from the operation site. That's why the name of this show is when white people and goes wrong. Listen, listen. This is this is their tool of communication. These contracts, this is how they live. This is how they move. This is how they get around. That's that's only on the second page. I'm gonna continue. You ready? I'm
Yep.
gonna try not to repeat as much as possible. I hereby assume me, this I I I'm paying £250,000 to make this commitment. I hereby assume full responsibility for the risk of bodily injury, disability, death, and property damage. I hope y'all smoking due to the negligence. That was the one area where they made it could have sued. Was if there was negligence involved. But these motherfuckers said, I hereby assume full responsibility for the risk of bodily injury, disability, death, and property damage due to the negligence of any released party while involved in the operation. So they even signed away their rights to sue. And when negligence is involved, y'all, I hereby agree to defend, indemnify, which means make whole, save, and hold harmless OceanGate Expeditions Limited, OceanGate Incorporated, OceanGate Foundation, and the other released parties from any loss, liability, damage, or cost that may incur due to any claim brought in violation of this release. They signed it all the way, y'all. Then they talk about a 360 deal in the music industry. This shit right here, y'all, it goes on to say, I further agree that my participation in this operation does not give rise to an employer employee relationship and does not bind OceanGate Expeditions Limited to provide any form of workers' compensation, insurance, health insurance, or benefits. And that's probably the only line in this entire contract that makes any sense. It's probably the only line in the whole contract that I say, oh, yeah, you definitely want to put that in there. But it goes on to say, I further agree that my participation in this operation does not give rise, I said that already. During the operation, I consent to an administration of first aid and medical treatment, which may seem reasonably advisable. I mean, but what happens if your head implodes? Then what?
Chicken butt.
I guess. What happens if your head implodes? I mean, who's going to provide the medical treatment just in case that happens? If I am unable to consent due to unconsciousness, disorientation, or other mental incapacity, I hereby appoint the captain, same nigga that built the vessel, same nigga with the PlayStation controller in his hand. I hereby appoint the captain of the support vessel as my attorney in fact. Oh my God, this contract. To consent to any treatment he or she seems advisable. Well, all of y'all did. I further certify that I voluntarily assume the risk of any medical or physical condition I may have. I understand, we almost done, y'all, with this part, that OceanGate Expeditions may contract with independent contractors to provide services, including transportation during the operation. Too many commas. Ugh. But this was easier to read than the Yanla shit. I just gotta say. I hate when white people do it better. Oh, I hate it. I understand that OceanGate Expeditions has no control over and accepts no responsibility, just like the Ayanla thing, for the actions of any independent contractor involved in providing services. Although OceanGate does not hold them responsible, I still cannot sue them. I have had sufficient opportunity to read this entire document. That's the only thing I would agree to. I have. I have had sufficient opportunity to read this entire document. In signing this document, I acknowledge that if I die, what old girl say? If I get sick or die, go away, death. If I die, am hurt, or incur property damage during, I hope y'all smoking, because I'm giving it to you now. During my participation in the expedition, I may be found. Y'all, I'm going to read this again and I'm going to read it slow. Because this motherfucker right here. If in signing this document, I acknowledge that if I die, I may be found by a court of law to have waived my right to maintain a lawsuit against OceanGate Expeditions, OceanGate Incorporated, OceanGate Foundation, and the other release parties as a result of signing this release. If any part of this release is deemed unenforceable, all parts shall be given full effect to the extent possible. All of this contract should be any disputes related to or arising from either the operations or this release shall be governed by the laws of. Are you able to read that, St. Hudson, and see what that says?
No, I can't. My glasses are in the room.
Girl, it's okay. This shit say any dispute arising from either. Oh, you did just turn 40, didn't you? Oh. Any dispute arising from either the operation or release shall be resolved in the courts of the Bahamas, bitch.
In the Bahamas, they got a lot of fucking nerve.
And they sign that shit. Because these motherfuckers got bank accounts all over the world to hide their money. So they like, okay, I got lawyers. My lawyers can go to the Bahamas too.
All the
I think
way in the other side of the world.
Girl, they gave it up. They gave it up. They gave it up. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link and open up the panel because we're gonna go ahead and watch these videos. Oh shit, I wrote the shit up wrong. We're gonna go ahead and watch these videos together. And don't feel obligated to join, but if you got something to add to this, then I definitely want to hear it. Because one thing that's not being heard right now in this story is the black voice. We're being forced to mourn for some people we don't really give a fuck about, and it's an obvious situation of, yeah, duh, stupid.
I want to know what bank funded this business.
He said he spent his own money, honey.
He's a fucking liar.
Girl,
even a white billionaire is not going to spend his own money. He's always going to use investors. Even if he didn't use a bank, he's never going to spend his own money.
And he said he ain't made no money off of it.
So which one of his greasy-haired friends invested in this bullshit?
Probably the Epstein nigga. Jared from Subway. They must have wanted to die, Rosetta. Press back, B. Hey, I'm Jess.
Hey,
welcome.
One of the owners. Hey, boo. One of the founders is a Rothschild.
Oh, really? Is that true?
Yeah, one of the founders is a Rothschild.
Ooh, so Nikki's in-laws.
They got money. The people who found that, they the rabbit hole runs deep on this one. But girl, look, let me
Oh,
tell you.
what you know, you're right. I forget. I'm actually bringing that out in a second. In one of the videos, we're going to talk about one of the statements that are made that talk about his pedigree. I'm glad that you mentioned that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
You know,
let me.
Nikki Hilton is married to a Rothschild.
Yeah, of
Mm,
course.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. That's how it goes. Yeah, I'm so glad that you're here. Feel free to hang out. The very first video we are going to watch